Daryl Hawkins is 61 years old. I'm not even in my 30s yet. I don't think I can do what he does, running up and down the sidelines. Now when the fans head out to his house, they'll always see Wade right where he belongs, up there with the rest of Heat legends. Yeah, number one will always hang from the rafters here at the BB&T Center. Right now, the Florida Panthers honoring Roberto Luongo. As we know, the big game less than a week away, Super Bowl 53 taking place in Atlanta right up the street. Well, we were treated to another instant classic here for the college football playoffs, but this time in the championship game, it's the Dogs who are heartbroken as Nick Saban and the Tide walk off with another title. You can feel the excitement and the energy as you walk through the course, because the Tiger is back on the prowl. I'm just getting tired of talking about this thing. I want to eat it, you know what I'm saying? All right, the Dolphins are 3-11 on the season. The Cincinnati Bengals, 1-13. Tomorrow, these two heavyweights match up head-to-head in Miami. How about we do this every time the show starts? Let's go get it, baby! All right, I like cupcakes. Everyone likes cupcakes, but not a week before Thanksgiving, because in college football, that means lopsided victories. The Miami Heat were one of the biggest surprises heading into the All-Star break, putting the entire league on notice as a playoff contender. You were there a couple weeks ago. Just take us back, Jordan Hare. When did you see the momentum start to shift?
Well, you know, it was really shocking, that game, because we hadn't seen anyone.
We're live here at the 4 Sports Complex. Jonathan Perez, 13 WMAZ Sports. Yeah!
Life as a supervision officer is demanding. From day in and day out, your phone is constantly ringing. You never know who's on the other line. We're monitoring the people that we supervise and just making sure that they're on track.
On Mondays through Fridays, Marcus Brooks is a community supervision officer in Macon, serving warrants and monitoring past offenders. But on Saturdays, he trades his badge for a helmet, calling the shots under center for the Georgia Crush.
For me, football is just a hobby. It's my hobby. This is what I do for fun, to stay in shape and just to get away from all the adult issues that people deal with. So this just clears my mind.
The Georgia Crush is a semi-pro football team that has been in Macon for a decade, and it gives adults like Marcus the chance to relive their glory days.
And they're playing for the love of the game, so it's nothing on the line for them other than their pride and their desire to win. And being able to do something that you love without the restraints of those things that the world can put on you is awesome.
While the players are sacrificing their bodies on the gridiron, coaches are following suit, working day jobs before hitting the sidelines.
We're amateur status, so we're all volunteers. We're out here, we don't get paid to do this. We do this for the love of the game, our community, and the guys.
That love for football has always been there for Marcus. He graduated from Southwest in 2005, where he played quarterback. Then he played 2 years at Fort Valley State before transferring to Shaw University in North Carolina. It's a game he's played his whole life, but when he steps on the field for the Crush, he gets to do something he's never done before: share the turf with his brother.
I played ball up in Tennessee for a while. I played ball in Virginia, but what brought me back to play ball in Georgia was the chance to play with my brother. We were 4 years apart, so when we went to high school, we never got to play together because when he graduated, I came in. So that's what brought me to the Crush.
This is a developmental league where some players are using this experience to hopefully reach their dream of playing at the next level, either in college or arena football. But for Mike and Marcus, it's about the relationships they can share with one another and their lifelong friends.
I've known half of these guys since I was little, and with us going to different schools from different neighborhoods, we never got to play with each other. It was always against each other. So being out here made it, you know what I'm saying, it made up for that lost time we had when we was playing against each other and not with each other.
It may not be Friday night lights anymore for these players, but as long as they're able to carry the rock down the field, their love for the game will never dim away.
The opportunity to continue playing football is just great. Football raised me, so I don't know where I would be right now without football.
Jonathan Perez, 13 WMAZ, Eyewitness Sports. You've seen them nearly every Friday night in Forsyth.
It's like a pre-game kind of thing for us to boost us up.
At every high school football game, the Mary Persons Bulldogs hit the field with the same introduction. Before the players run through the banner, it has to be rolled, raised, and ready for ripping. And that's where the cheerleaders come in. But it's not just about cheers and chants. It's about the pride and prep work.
Throughout the summer, we tape and trace the sign, and that's a pretty lengthy process.
A process that requires climbing and a lot of creativity.
We want to make our signs really pop and big because it shows our Bulldog pride and that we really support our dogs.
The squad spirit is not just about the dogs. Their support extends well beyond the football field.
This is supporting our troops and saying thank you for everything that y'all do in remembrance of 9/11.
So whether it's for the troops or for their team, the meaning behind the banners live on even after they're torn.
It's a big thing on like bringing together spirit and bringing together the fans and everything. And then it's also a tradition that we've always done. So we're just trying to keep the tradition alive.
Now that's right, these girls are pros. They actually get the banner done in just a day, just a few hours. All the painting is done. They actually had a couple of free time on their hand to make another banner. Check it out, JP's Extra Points. It looks really good. Now you heard in the package Hannah say it's all about keeping a tradition alive. I think here at 13 WMAZ, we're gonna start a new tradition. How about we do this every time the show starts? Let's go get it, baby. Miami Heat players said after Friday's win they needed to ease up and have more fun in order to snap out of their slump where they've lost 7 of their last 10. It worked yesterday. Could the relaxed mindset work again on the second night of a back-to-back against the Nets? It sure looked like the Heat were just out there hooping tonight. Just before the half, Goran Dragic tossing up the floater and buries the shot as the buzzer sounds. Miami leads by 8. 19 points off the bench for Dragic. Third quarter now, Kendrick Nunn finding his rhythm yet again, knocking down his 115th triple on the year, setting the franchise record, by the way, for most threes in a season by a rookie. But Brooklyn keeps on fighting. Under a minute left in the game, Heat only up by 2. The Dragon stepping back, got him, hits the jumper to give the Heat a 4-point lead, but it's not over yet. Joe Harris hits the triple with 11.4 on the clock, and now they're down by 1. Nets are going to foul Jimmy Butler, makes 1 of 2 on the line, and then Miami's defense forcing the turnover. Spencer Dinwiddie throws a pass to the crowd, and Miami's going to hang on to win a close one, 116-113, your final. The Florida Panthers have lost 3 of their last 4, and tonight looking for a much-needed win against Chicago as they make a push for the postseason. First period, Mike Hoffman intercepts. He gets on his horse with the speed, the handles, and the goal. How about it? Hoffman gets his 27th goal on the year and puts the Cats up by 1. After Chicago ties it up in the first, they get the lead in the second. Drake Kajula gets credit for the deflection and the goal. So now later in the third, the Panthers in desperation mode to tie it. Mike Matheson gets the turnover and the equalizer. No goals in overtime, so we're heading to a shootout. Corey Crawford is going to stay strong, though, denying the Panthers twice. Sergei Bobrovsky, on the other hand, cannot stop both shots. Florida loses 3-2. They're now 5 points out of third place in the Atlantic. The Miami Marlins started spring training 6-1 and this afternoon made the trip to Sarasota to take on the Baltimore Orioles, but the Fish lose their second straight game as Baltimore wins 12-6. Sandy Alcantara had a rocky start, giving up 5 runs in just 1 2/3, but the Fish are back at it tomorrow, returning to Jupiter to face the Mets. Miami Hurricanes playing their 10th straight game at Mark Life Field, looking for their 3rd straight win. In last night's win, the bats were dormant, but boy, did they come alive tonight. Alex Terrell hits a bomb of a homer to cap off a 4-run first inning for the Hurricanes. Then in the second, Anthony Villar gets his first homer of the season. Bye-bye, baby. 8 runs in total for Miami. Also, career night on the hill for the Canes starting pitcher Chris McMahon, striking out a career-high 12 batters. The Canes cruise to an 8-2 win. They go for the sweep tomorrow at 1. Number 6 Florida State Seminoles were in Clemson tonight, hoping to win 5 straight after their convincing 15-point win over number 11 Louisville. Clemson not backing down to FSU today, a back-and-forth contest the entire 40 minutes. So skip ahead to the end of the game. FSU down by 1. Trent Forrest hits the floater to give the Noles the lead with 8 seconds left, but look at the sequence. Tigers pushing the ball up the court quickly. Al Amir Dawes splits defenders, takes it to the rack with the reverse layup off the glass. Clemson up by 1, and Clemson storms the court with the upset. 70-69 is your final. March starts tomorrow, but boy, the madness already starting today.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. And Ryan,